Ladies and gentlemen, YouTube, I am pumped, I am excited, and I'm about to rip these shits to shreds because I'm going to be talking about the worst movies of 2015. This has been a very long and very hard list to come up with because literally I haven't seen that many films this year, or I haven't seen that many bad films. So literally in this week's from Sunday to like Thursday, today, I had to catch up on like 15 just of like some of the worst films of this year, some of the most fans that I could possibly come up with. Some of them I got through, some of them I couldn't get through, but I still had to sit through because my brother tied me up and just like Clockwork Orange me, you know. But yes, I had to watch a lot of these things, and I got them done. And here it is. This is my list. Now, I wanted to do a little bit differently. I didn't want to put top 10. I didn't want to be like everybody else. I want to be something different. So what I did was I saw about 15 movies, and I'm going to list them all off. Don't worry, I'll do it quickly enough, and I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight as to why they're here, and just my very quick review of each one. And these are the movies that caused me the most pain of 2015. Some of them I actually wasted money on. Some of them I did not waste money on, and I'm glad. But let's talk about this shit right here. At number 15, it is Terminator. Yes, I'm going to be looking at my notes because I am not that professional, but I'm going to be looking at Terminator Genisys. Why is that 15? Because it is not that bad, but it is definitely an embarrassment compared to what we saw in the previous installments, not counting Salvation. But yes, Arnold, good. Jai Courtney was in here. Emilia Clarke, good to look at, but there's not much here. You actually made more problems in this timeline than whatever was messed up before, but that's number 15. Number 14, Transporter. A lot of people didn't really like this movie. I actually didn't mind this movie. I thought it did its job. It was a dumb action movie that got, it knew when to end itself. It didn't take too long. It was like 90 minutes. A lot of these movies on this list went way too long to the point where you just like, end. And this movie, by the time you know it's over, it's quick, it's harmless, it's mindless action, it's stupid. The laws of physics do not apply in this film. Anything you learn about volume, height, weight, width, anything in that, any science, throw that out the window because they do it. That jumping through a car scene, what? I know people didn't like Ed Skrein or whatever, and that was kind of my first impression. Was like, who is this guy? Who's Ed Skrein? And when it ends, I'm still like, who the fuck's Ed Skrein? Number 13 is Hot Tub Time Machine 2. I just watched this morning, actually. It's not that bad. It is the sequel nobody wanted, and I still didn't want. And they're kind of, the worst part about Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is they think it's going to be a third one. It is not. An unwanted sequel, which it tries to be a little bit violent and even more gross out than the first one. And unfortunately, the first one was decent. This one just kind of became like a straight to DVD bachelor party thing, whatever. Number 12 is Pixels. Pixels, just going to say straight up, everybody's lazy, everybody's miscasted, everybody's annoying. The positives, if you love the 80s arcade stuff, everything, all that, those visuals, great. Everything else, not really worth your time, your money, or whatever. Adam Sandler just looking very tired. Number 11 is The Boy Next Door. Now, why is The Boy Next Door here? Mainly because it's J-Lo. J-Lo's fantastic, but this movie goes from like a home invasion thing to kind of it's just a stalker angle to just like a murder thing. The guy, Ryan Guzman, starts to kill Kristen Chenoweth and it becomes a murder and he dies. It's like, huh? What? The movie gets so confusing and stupid. It's like he missed 2 years of high school and then he had to redo high school because they let him. It's because he's a nice guy. It just goes all over the place. But that J-Lo, she is something. Number 10 is Agent 47. Agent 47, just like Transported, they do not actually apply the laws of physics in this movie. Anything, interesting about science is not applied here. 47, it just goes, it manages to kind of be worse. It's a little bit more entertaining. I feel like it actually still manages to be worse, though. Zachary Quinto, they're rehashing Terminator, the first one. This movie does probably a better Terminator in some way than Terminator Genisys did, but it becomes a sloppy mess. Zachary Quinto gets his hair dyed blonde at the end, and the clone thing was just a lazy attempt. They didn't even bother to make different Agent 47s. It's just the exact same Agent 47, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. Number 9 is Extraction. You're probably wondering what the fuck is Extraction. Extraction stars Kellen Lutz, Bruce Willis, Gina Carano. Story is Bruce Willis is the CIA guy. He eventually gets taken away. Kellen Lutz is this training in the CIA or whatever, and then he eventually goes rogue to save his father, and it turns out there's a twist, and then it's just a sloppy action movie. I thought Gina Carano was the best thing about it. Lutz and her kind of they do a decent job at the action scenes. But Bruce Willis is literally being paid to sit in a chair. Yes, is taken hostage and he's sitting in a chair for most of the film. So he's literally getting paid to sit in a fucking chair. Don't see the movie. It tries to be Taken mixed with Bourne, mixed with The Raid, mixed with all these action films, and it fails sadly at all of them. And even The Dash of Man of Steel in one bar scene. But don't see it. But it is a decent film, I guess. But the twist is just like, yeah. Number 8 is a ridiculous 6. Nothing need to be said here. Just look at the review. And apparently people kind of agree. It's a lazy attempt. And we have like 3 more of these with Adam Sandler. Everybody's game to play, I guess. Play with your time and your patience. But that's it. Waste of time. Boring. Yeah. Number 7 is Smosh the movie. I didn't really like this thing. But then again, I'm not really a fan of Smosh. So maybe that's the whole point. But it's still a childish thing. And if that's the fan base, then great. Whatever. But me personally, I didn't like it. It was a lazy attempt at a film that just, took people's money if they actually paid $10 for it. But sadly, I think people did, and you got ripped off. That's it. It was just lazy. Nothing's funny in it. People say, hey, what if the Smosh guys actually, made the movie? What if they wrote them themselves? And it probably would have been better. Or it would have been worse. You never know. But either way, it's not. It sucks. Number 6 is Fantastic Four. You're probably thinking, whoa, Fantastic Four should have been way lower. But to me, I watched it. I didn't think it was that bad. It's a sloppy mess. It is embarrassing for everyone involved. I cannot stand Miles Teller in the film. But at least, and now this movie just goes on, and it's just like, Jesus Christ. But luckily, Michael B. Jordan had Creed, and yeah, also, not only that, it's very forgettable. Like, the moment it was over, I actually forgot I watched it. That's how bad it is, really. But yeah, sloppy mess, terrible. No, don't need a sequel. And that ending, bleh. Number 5 is The Loft. The Loft is a movie that tried to be like Hitchcock, but it actually winded up being like a retarded M. Night Shyamalan with just the worst twist in the world. These guys eventually stumble upon like this dead girl in their apartment. They try to figure out who's killed the girl, and then it's just like a twist after a twist after a twist after suicide, and then another twist, and it's happy ending. Watch it if you want to see something just like really that's just going to confuse your brain. Wentworth Miller is the worst in there, but yeah. Number 4 is Alvin and the Chipmunks, The Road Trip. Road trip, whatever the pun is. Fuck them. Shove them nuts up your ass, Chipmunks. Screw them. It was a miserable time, but it was not the worst time I've had this year. It was not the worst. I knew what I was expecting with this film. And what I got was exactly what I expected, which was the exact same shit. And the first one, the sequel, third one, Shipwrecked, which was shit. Just straight out. It's a kids movie, but even kids, I think, would get a better job. Smosh the movie is a better kids movie. Number 3 is 50 Shades of Grey. Yes, this movie was dry, it was boring, and it was not even sexy to the point where you're just like, wait a minute. And then when it ends, my God, is that one of the worst endings I've seen this year? It is not. It's not erotic. It's actually quite boring because while you're watching it in the thing, and then it's just a dry room. That's all you get, and it's nothing to it. Yeah, that's it. He fucks hard. That's a line. He said it. Number 2 is Point Break. Point Break really angered me. Just watch my review. Just see my thumbnail, and I just gave it a big old fuck you to Point Break. It's a mess. It is sloppy. Anybody who defends it, if that's your opinion, great. But I think you're wrong. It sucks. It is nowhere near as good as the original, but I wasn't even a fan really of the original, and I could just tell it's a better movie, just straight up in general. It sucks. The cinematography, nasty. The chemistry, not there. Everything that was cool about the original, from just interesting aspects, this movie takes itself way too seriously. Utah is not Utah. YouTube is smelling like hell. GoPro and Axe body spray combined together makes Point Break. Oh, and a dash of XXX. State of the Union. And number 1, my worst movie of the year, the movie that gave me the most pain and suffering that I could not even get through, that I just wanted to just throw a goddamn thing down, was mainly, that's right, something fell because I'm that angry, was mainly Mordecai. Why Mordecai? Because I watched it last night, and Mordecai was one of those movies that when you watch it, you just be like, wait a minute. I don't know what is going on here, but with Johnny Depp was just relying too much on a fucking mustache. Gwyneth Paltrow with her very cringeworthy British accent. Ian McGregor acting like a ridiculous Bond, like a Roger Moore Bond, and everything that just it does not work. The movie's not funny. The movie is like 2 hours. Actually, no, it's like 148. And I kid you not, I felt like The Hateful Eight felt like a 90-minute film compared to Mordecai. That's how long Mordecai, it just drags on and on and on. There's nothing to this film. And by the time it's over, it's just like, first of all, I was like, Jeff Goldblum's in here. Thank God, we got Goldblum. He's in here for one scene, like 3 minutes. And I'm just like, you killed Goldblum. And not only that, you killed him twice. Why would you kill Goldblum twice? You're fucked up. You done fucked up now, because apparently Johnny Depp, at least he redeemed himself a bit for Black Mass. But Mordecai, it induced me. Mordecai was just one of those films that just seemed like it was just playing on in the background, where either like maybe you're in the bathroom and then a reflection of the TV screen is going in there and you're like taking a shit and you're like, wait a minute, is that Mordecai? I think we're gonna watch some Mordecai from the bathroom. Wipe, and then that's pretty much it. And that you could just wipe your ass with this movie. It's terrible. It's the worst thing out there. Point Break was tip for tap. It was tip for tap for Point Break, because I nearly walked out of Point Break, but I didn't. I nearly fell asleep on Mordecai, but I didn't. I watched all of these. I watched them all in 4 days, and this was literally the most strenuous thing I've ever done. But it was fun reviewing some of them. But yes, coming up with this list was very difficult to put in order. That's my worst list. That is the worst films of 2015 that I actually saw. What is your worst list? I want to know. Write them below. What is the worst movie you've seen this year? And tell me why. Just write it in the comments below. Comment, subscribe, like. I'm Chris Smith. Happy New Year soon, but sign it out.